Hey, welcome back. You are here on the One Mic Media channel. I know it's been a long time, but we are back today to discuss the season premiere, episode 1 and 2 of Star Wars The Acolyte. And yes, I am back. I'm going to be back for you guys. Starting out for the whole summer with lots of different reviews and lots of things to talk about, but I couldn't do it without my usual crew. Let me bring them on one by one. Of course, my right hand man, who will probably be waiting for every one of these reviews. My man, and the new digs, Mr. E Money. What's good, E?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, family?
All right. Congrats on a new location over there. Happy for
Thank
you.
you, thank you, thank you.
All right. And of course, got to bring in my favorite couple of all time, starting with my homegirl, who got a lot of insight. Always bring her voice. Love her having her agency. My girl, Chloe Diz. What's good, Chloe?
What's up? How y'all doing?
She's back. We're good to go.
I'm back.
Right.
I'm back.
And I couldn't do this without somebody who I know has lots of knowledge about Star Wars. Did one of my first podcasts about Star Wars with him. My guy himself. Over here, we call him today Darth Josh. What's good, Josh?
If you do not hit the lights up, you smash the light.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Super fire. So, all right, guys, let's get right into it, man. The Acolyte. It's a new Star Wars show. Just to introduce it, it's supposed to be set 100 years before the events of the original prequels, which is in the High Republic era. High Republic takes place right after the Old Republic, so it's a time where the Jedi did rule over the entire galaxy and their ways without the threat of the Sith, until later on, or until now, as we might find out. But, we see that unlike, there's tons of Jedis, which we haven't seen yet, who are thriving. There's the Jedi Way, the Jedi Council. Everything is one different way. And it's different than we've kind of really ever seen before. We've always seen kind of the Jedi either, either falling all the way off, like when it was just Luke by himself with one Jedi
Right.
only, or trying to rebuild like with Rey. But we never really seen the Jedi at their highest power like there's in High Republic. So E, I'm gonna start with you, bro. Before I even get into your thoughts of the show, what are your thoughts of the show taking place in this era, in this time frame? So.
I mean, for real, this is the best. This is one of the best things they ever did because they bring it back only to certain parts when we've been watching since we've been watching Star Wars. But to bring it back where the Jedi's are on top and to see how full, how everything is and how full of themselves they are, like just seeing how they carry themselves to be this at this high point. I needed to see this because I never noticed that. I'm always seeing them being chased, killed, or running.
Right. Okay.
And broke, definitely on some hermit shit. Broke, like just
Facts.
living off the land.
And Chloe, I want to get your opinion too, because I know you were a newer Star Wars fan, meaning within the last few years. But I know you've seen a lot so far. How do you like this era so far that you've seen and it's taking place there?
I think it's dope. I noticed a lot of color,
Hmm.
so they must have been diverse before.
That's
I was counting.
hilarious.
We got 10 black people on screen already. It's only been 3 minutes. What's going on here? So, they must have been diverse. Before, before, before it went down, there's a lot of color going on. It was like mixtures of color. It was just a lot of diversity. So I'm gonna say that's one thing that stuck out to me. So I'm here for it. I thought about E Money. I'm not gonna lie. I thought about you the first scene. I was like, this is E Money Ali. So
Oh yeah, remember how he was like in that chick flipping around?
Yeah,
The
you heard it. I was
with the cute, with the
right.
right. That's how you know this is my speed right
That's
here.
me,
I like her better.
Way
She
better.
is better. She is
Way
better.
Way better, yes.
She ain't way better. Hold on.
Bro, stop it.
She better though. She better though.
Yeah, and with the it's funny you say that because it reminds me of how like House of the Dragon is set before Game of Thrones. There's so much color in House of the Dragon as opposed to Game of Thrones. So it's like
Right.
what happened down the line, stuff like that. It's weird, but
And to your point, because I'm not a Star Wars fan, right? I guess I appreciate it differently than other
yeah.
people would. So I'm curious to see like if people who are like longtime Star Wars fans what they thought about it. But so far, I think it's just an interesting story.
Josh, your thoughts on any thoughts on it so far, but also the High Republic era and it being set there this time. So.
Absolutely. I have to applaud them for coloring outside the lines. Pun absolutely intended, but also with the storyline because all fans, no matter if you're a super diehard fan of Star Wars or like, kind of a casual fan, everyone wanted to see something separate from the the Skywalker saga.
Right.
And I applaud them for doing it. And they're also rewarding, I'm noticing in the past couple years. So maybe you could call it fan service, but I think it was justified in this case because Star Wars is down in the dumps for some people. They are rewarding the people who watch the cartoons, the animations, and played the video games right now.
Yes.
If you've done any of those things, you're not out of place. But I would say for the casual fan, you're really deep into the galaxy now.
Yeah, but to the casual fan, to that expect, I think they're fine as well because the High Republic era is kind of new. Like that wasn't around when it first made Star Wars, so we're kind of all learning it together. So I feel like that's good. I do
Which
like the
is
fact,
wonderful, right? I think that's a masterstroke by the studio.
Right. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I think that I like the fact they do have a lot of diversity, let's say, and the fact that they can do that with Jedi. I mean, there's green Jedi, Wookiee Jedi. They could always have black Jedi or Asian Jedi or whatever like that. So there's no reason not to. So.
Are you sure about that, Mike? Because there was a lot of pushback with the last black character.
No, she was just whack. Reba was whack.
She was not whack.
Bro, she was flipping over. She was doing running from the roof.
Listen, they like color. They like aliens, but they don't be liking no black folks.
Right. They don't want no strong.
They don't want that diversity.
I mean, I like how they had O'Shea Jackson looking like a bum though.
He was worthless. He should. If he wasn't gonna be a Jedi, he shouldn't even have did it.
I agree.
He was looking real bummy.
Yeah, man, you a
I really want to have a conversation with his agent. Like, you accepted this role for your client.
Right? What the? Yeah, let me be your agent.
He had a shape up. He was
right.
He was after the Republic, right?
Yeah, way after.
Right, with your iconic dad's face, you couldn't get a better spot.
But
I'm just scanning.
But to this show, the actual star of the show, and I don't know her real name yet. I'll get it later on. But she is a lady. There you go, a lady of color and stuff like that. And we start to see the cast form and stuff like that. And it starts out with what made me mad as the first scene. I will say, it made me happy and mad. So the first scene, she goes. To one of the cantinas, let's say, looking for Jedi, and she's looking for what's the Jedi's name? Josh. Anyway,
Kenobi.
No, that's not Obi-Wan.
Oshia or something.
No. Osha was the girl. I'm talking about the one who played Trinity in Matrix. I forget her name.
I was about to say Trinity.
Yeah. Josh, we can't hear you, Josh. You keep talking.
My bad. Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah, Carrie Ann Moss. Okay.
Right.
So. Master something we'll call it. Anyway, she's looking for her, but we see she does fight. She offers her, she said, fight me at first, and that, you must fight me. And they fight, and, this is a spoiler review, by the way, before I get into that. But we see this great choreographed fight scene to me, but I was sad to see her pass. So I'm going to go back to Josh. Now, how you feel about that first scene in the show and how it was done?
I thought it was brilliant. And the fact that, of course, and we'll get back to this later, how they didn't use a weapon really besides a knife. I mean, attacking a Jedi without a blaster and without a lightsaber is an incredibly brave thing to do, even when we meet the Star Wars galaxy. But to be in the height of the Jedi now, and you could tell that they literally have a pipeline of every force sensitive person in the galaxy. Like they really have like anyone who's undocumented, you're essentially like an alien, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting because it's making them look similar to the Empire, and that goes back to one of the things someone else of color said, Malcolm X, right? Talking about the dual party system doesn't really benefit us really, and you're seeing that in the galaxy as well, whether it's the Empire or the Jedi, which is very interesting.
Right.
Yeah, so I just want to give her a shout out. Her name is Amanda Stenberg. She's the main character, May slash OSHA in the show. So I just want to give her a shout
She's
out
fine.
she's doing a good
She do her
job.
thing.
And Carrie Ann Moss character is Indira. She was Master Indira. She was a Master level Jedi before she was killed, obviously.
Right.
But and the scene
And
when Indira.
my bad, E. Before you go, Mike, I don't think she's actually dead. Just food for thought.
Oh, okay, all right, we're gonna see. The scene where we see her kill Indira. And now at this point, we don't know if it's Osha or May. We don't know what's going on. But just that first scene, how you felt about that, the fight, choreography, all of it and stuff.
All right, so let me tell you this right here. When old girl walked up to her at the table and everybody was laughing, I was laughing with them because she looked like a damn joke. You know what I'm saying? Come fight me and all that. So I laughed with him, like, yeah, all right, your little ass ain't doing nothing. Not with Trinity. You're definitely not doing nothing with that. You must gonna fail at this mission. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
I mean, she was getting chipped until she
was getting chipped, bro. Like,
until she threw the knife at old boy or whatever. And I was, you know what? Real quick, I'm gonna cut you off. I'm like, yo, why are you still there at the bar? You see, it's a big ass fight going on. I would have whooped his ass. I'm sorry, but anyway, go ahead.
I ain't even gonna lie. I might have let that knife hit him, yo.
Me too, yo.
You're not about to put me at risk like that. I gotta go home. So we're not even about to do that. But
he over here washing dishes and shit.
Yo, that really pissed me off. Right? So all right. So the fighting is one of the best fights I ever seen when it comes to Star Wars. Let's get to that first. Let's get to the. It wasn't slow paced like Rosario Dawson shit.
Oh, God.
All right. It was at a good, fast pace. It wasn't just hit like the old days. This was real good to me. This is how I want Star Wars for real, especially with Jedi's. That ninja shit, I'm with all of that. And the way Trinity was moving, it made me think of Matrix Trinity. So I felt she couldn't be beat for real. Like she was doing just great. And what bothered me was, I'm gonna be real. You don't get Trinity for that. She shouldn't have died in the first scene.
Right.
So I hope Josh is correct on what he's saying because I felt robbed.
Me too. Not Carrie Ann Moss, but like I said, her name's Indira. But Chloe, the first opening scene, how did you feel about it watching it?
Well, I was kind of upset her name was OSHA because that's all I think about is like the OSHA safety rules when I hear that word. So I'm like, that's a weird name. So that's something that pops in my head. She about to sue them because she didn't get a long enough break while her name OSHA. So then the other thing I thought about was I knew these are thoughts that actually go through my mind. Then the other thing was like I knew the lady was going to die because she wanted to die. Like I felt like that first scene of fighting set up the whole thing about saying these Jedi's ain't as good as we thought they were. Like they're not as moral high ground as they claim to be in the present time, right? So like, I mean, we'll talk about that later. But when she said, "Oh, you coming for me?" I knew this day would come. I think she was just sacrificing herself and let her kill her. Like she knew who she was, but we didn't know who she was as
right. Right. So
they must have did some grimy stuff, and I'm just waiting to see what it was.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the mystery later on, but then we get to OSHA. Actually, actual OSHA. She's working on the ship, fixing it up, and then we see the Jedi. His Padawan. His name is Yor, the black guy. Your Padawan is Jackie, I think, and they go to get her. They say, we got evidence that you the one that was there. The dude who she saved at the bar, point her out and stuff like that, and they go to take her in. And we see how the Jedi, how they kind of arrest people. So let me start back with E this time. How you felt about that scene when they came and got her?
All right, so when she first woke up, right? Let me get there first. When she first woke up, I thought it was a when they go past, like they go to the past to see what went wrong. So that's what I thought was going on at first. Until the Jedi's came and was asking about the murder and all that.
Yeah.
So the first, that's when I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. First of all, the hair looks different.
Yeah.
And if old girl badass like this, why would she just be high? So then I'm thinking, okay, maybe she a serial killer Jedi. Where he just, you know what I mean, just killing motherfuckers and just, you know, letting them rock. But that once I got more into the storyline, I'm like, wait. I still ain't think twin sister though.
Me either.
To be real.
Yeah,
I still ain't think twin sister. They got me with that. The bull, I like seeing the bull, but he had the Miles Morales dreads. Like, come on, everybody don't have dreads, man. We got waves, we got braids, we got froze, we got hot.
He had the Killmonger.
Yeah, like they keep giving everybody Killmonger. Everybody don't wear that. What's wrong
He
with
need a
them?
brush. Well, they don't know how to do shape ups, so good thing he had a.
He still got to shape up with his
Ain't no
Killmonger.
shape ups in the galaxy.
So they can fade it. They can't shape it up, huh? With the lasers.
It's bald. It's bald on the side. You feel me?
That's hilarious.
But yo, first of all, I like the color of his saber. I don't know what that means, but I do like the color of his saber. He carries himself good. It wasn't no disrespect to y'all that run that way, but it was good to see, like a strong male that wasn't on no, stuff. He was like straight strong man. You know what I mean? Like calling shots and doing what he was doing. So it was good to see that as a black character and as a black Jedi. You know what I mean? Like it was a straight, straight up G'd up person. So I like that. I definitely caught a little Wolverine girl with the pit. No, that wasn't her. That was somebody else first.
Yeah, it was somebody
girl
else
with blue eyes with an alien.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. I don't know if
it was his Padawan. I don't know who it is, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But Chloe, how you felt about the scene when they came and got her from the ship and arrested her for the accusation of murdering the Jedi?
Oh wait, one thing, Chloe. One thing.
Go ahead.
Right before you get to that, I had one thing though. One gripe. When they was grabbing her, and she said she was on the ship the whole time. Why couldn't they check the ship's cameras and the ship's log? That was my only problem. That right there.
That's fair. So I knew something was up because I was like, ain't no way she got caught that quick. Like initially before the guy came, they had old boy on the ship like, is this her? He's like, yeah, that's her. I'm like, damn, that was kind of quick. But I thought, like initially I thought that it was either a flashback or I thought that she was just like some stealth person on a mission, that she do this thing, that she go back to her regular life and she's hiding out on this ship. So I did have that same train of thought, but then when old boy came and was like, yeah, she the one who ruined my bar, and they arrested her, I was like, oh, okay, where's this gonna go now? But I knew something was gonna happen because that's just their formula. But I like the fact that it happened really quick. Like I like that the pace is like fast, so they can get to the story instead of like dragging it out very long. So I appreciate that.
Josh, how you felt about seeing the officer come with the Padawan to arrest him? The whole thing with the captain gave her up, stuff like that, and her ultimately surrender. How you felt about the whole scene?
Yeah, I'm actually intrigued by what he said because I actually viewed him differently. I thought he was trying to be a little too, like a little overcompensating, a little too much. Like he was trying to prove something, and you could tell by when he met with Osha, they actually used to be like good friends. He was trying to act all, we in front of the people right now. Like that's why I was like, oh, that's interesting that he's like that. So I'm sure that's gonna be a storyline down the line.
Later on, yeah.
I think they was dating.
They could have been.
It's giving vibes that because the way she looked at him, she was like, "Hey, you were here. Oh, you came to find me in the galaxy."
What else threw me off? The sister hair is longer.
It is, and I didn't notice that until like the second episode.
Way longer.
I didn't notice, but she could have cut it. Like if the person who did it hair was longer, she could have cut her hair.
Her hair was like all the way down.
Yeah, but he don't know that. The dude at the bar, he's got almost died. He didn't think about that.
True. I mean, true, but
You always see it like they look alike in the face.
And you could
True.
cut the dreads. You just
Right, you
couldn't
could
make
have cut
longer.
him the next day.
You
Right.
could make them
Yeah.
longer, but you could cut them.
Right.
He like, nah, that was her, right? But Josh,
And
I'm sorry.
like that's what I was saying though about the cameras and the other green lizards being there. I'd have been like, hey, she was here on the shit.
Right,
Fix that
right.
shit. What
Man,
I got it for.
they get her up
Supposed to
quick.
be there. Remember, she wasn't supposed to be there because the droids is supposed to be fixing her.
Right, they're not supposed to have people there
They
anyway.
don't got no cameras.
Mm.
There you go, Chloe. See, Chloe paid attention.
Go ahead, Chloe. Go ahead.
But go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry. You got
Smoke
cut
a
off.
Jedi pack. Come on, Josh.
I was having a major Star Wars nerd moment during the scene with Osha too, because when you realize that she does the role that R2D2 does for the fighter jets as a human being, that's when I'm like, whoa.
Oh.
I'm so glad you guys changed that policy because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they had two black folks out there fixing the shit.
Yeah. Risking their lives.
Multicultural Disney. I think they're going in the other direction now.
Yeah.
We need black faces, mixed faces. Let's do it. 2 in one scene. Then we had 3 in the
It
scene.
was 3, yeah.
I thought my head was gonna explode.
Like I said, I give them props. I gotta give Disney props where they deserve it at, and that right there was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
So, they do wind up arresting her, and then she goes on the transport ship with the droids to go back to what's Coruscant, where the Jedi's are at, stuff like that. I guess for the crime they thought she did. But while she's there, the people over there, they already got a plan to escape all the detainees there. So they like coming with us. She like no. They like all right, we out there. So their plan unfolds. They go on the escape pod. And, she finally gets out, try to get on herself, but she got a big heart. She tried to help the dude out, and he dipped on her and stuff like that. And then she on there by herself. So, this whole scene, I'm talking with Josh Top. Josh, this whole escape scene here with the criminals, how you thought about that one? What you thoughts about that?
I thought it was very telling, and this is the scene where I knew that it was 2 different people.
Okay.
With complete certainty, because of course, you wouldn't do that. And then, of course, it could possibly be a twin or whatever they were going to come up with. We didn't know for sure at that time, right?
Right.
And you could tell how she was trained by the Jedi, but also how she failed.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to take cues and also use the Force, but also take visual cues. And if my man has literally an organism to prevent him from talking because he did something so heinous, I understand why you want to help him, but taking that step to help them is the naivety. It's like you're not using the Force at all. It's like I'm just trying to be super good as opposed to being intelligent.
Right.
And part of the Jedi, you have to balance that. Like, of course, you want to help save people, and they do it in a very elegant way in their own time. But the better option was to secure the ship first, and then go and try and help him if that's what you wanted to do, and do it in a safer way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I peeped she didn't have patience anyway with the Force. Because remember when she tried to grab her droid, her bot, and she just gave up on that.
Exactly, and
But she never finished her training though. She failed.
And we saw May nice with the Force, so
Yeah.
May was paying attention. What was you doing, Osha?
Well, we'll give it this: 2 different teachers and styles of training.
And also, Osha quit. She failed. She dipped or whatever like
Yeah,
that.
she dipped out.
But at the same time, we're talking about Star Wars here.
Right.
Midichlorians, right? So they're twins. That means they got the same amount of midichlorians. What's up?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I didn't but I know
I
what I did. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'll go first.
I didn't. What I do like though is that the realism that they said like she was there for whatever amount of time, and then she failed. And there's been like, I guess 6 or 10 years since she was even at the Jedi Temple. So I like that she can automatically use the Force again. Like I like that. Like if she going to learn it, she got to like retrain almost or get it back. Unlike in Ahsoka, but like Sabine was like immediately like a super Jedi and shit like that, and she hadn't been training for who knows how long. So I like this better.
I definitely get that, Big Mike. But if you don't mind me asking, if you learned how to use the Force and you didn't get into the Jedi Academy, would you ever stop learning how to use the Force to the degree that you learn? And would you go on to learn new things?
No, I would keep trying to learn. You know what I mean? Like, because it's such a powerful thing. And if I was there for years, I could see how it works. So I'm gonna try to like not fail in one. But if I do get booted from the school, whatever, I'm gonna keep trying to learn it from somewhere else.
The reason why I ask is because she failed at her trials. It wasn't like she was only there for like a couple months or
for years.
Yeah,
she was there
she
for
got the
probably there for
Right.
a couple decades, like a decade at least.
Right.
So
but she stopped using it once she left the trials.
But this is my point. This is like learning English until 10 years of education and being like, I can't speak English anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that.
See, I think that is what's going to unfold.
Okay, go ahead.
And this is just my prediction because look, I'm gonna put this on wax.
Okay.
My prediction is something happened when they were children. I feel like the mom got murdered in front of the other sister. And then the sister Osha thought that the other sister caused the fire to kill the parents, but she really didn't. She probably went back to save the parents. Then I think when Osha went into Jedi training, she had some trauma why she didn't pass the test, which is why she refuses to learn the Jedi movements any longer. So she probably traumatized, and she said she swore off of the Jedi movements forever. And that's why she couldn't tap into that.
I mean, I'll give you that, but my thing is, right? My thing is, when she did when she saw the sis, when she saw her sis, and she got shot at, there wasn't no, it wasn't no shock look like, oh my God, why are you shooting at me? I'm your sister. There was no shock look there.
Because I think that Osha thinks that the sister May killed the mom. She said that straight up. Like, she killed my mom.
Yeah,
she killed my whole family.
Right.
But May knows that she didn't kill the family. Right. I think that May knows that something happened with the Jedi, which is why she out for vengeance.
Yeah.
And then when Osha went to go train with the Jedi, right? They saved her, an orphan, and then they trained with her. I think that she experienced some separate trauma that makes her not want to use the Force.
Yeah, I think they seen different shit. Definitely. I think they seen different shit when the coins were flipped. Definitely. I definitely feel that way. It's just that it's something else. It's like a piece of the puzzle that it's missing.
Well, let me just try to bring this to show forward. So let me just go past the thing. So we do see that going back to the Jedi, her original masters, to your point, Chloe, Soul, who was the Asian fellow, more diversity, right? And we see
Squid
her.
Games.
Yeah, from Squid Games. Yeah. We see her master, and they inform him that she's been detained for the possible killing of Indira, who is also his friend. And he instantly gets this feeling, and they think that he's attached to her. And as you know, Jedi have no attachments. But to Chloe's point, I think it's because he knows what happened way back when, and that's why hearing her name brought up these feelings of like, oh no, not Osha, because we don't always know what happened with Osha and May back in the day. That's what I think. I would not. So
he probably saved May. He probably saved May because he made a mistake and killed Osha, and was like, oh, I gotta save one of the orphans and let me raise her on some whatchamacallit, like Thanos did.
Yeah.
Like, I killed your whole family, and now I'm gonna take you.
I don't think he killed them, but a Jedi did something wrong, though. I feel like at that
Jedi.
Jedi.
Somebody definitely was bad. Like, somebody definitely was dark. I'm gonna tell you that.
I don't know if they was dark, but I think they just did something wrong. I don't know if they was actually dark.
Nah, but for a nigga to drink poison.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Let's get to that. So
Yeah.
before we get to that though, so Josh, let me bring you back in here. How you feel about back at Coruscant, her master Soul, hearing from I guess one of his masters about Osha and deciding to go on himself on a little excursion to go get her after the crash, stuff like that. How you feel about the whole thing?
It definitely makes sense because I appreciate how they showed him with the younglings because I think they wanted to demonstrate and illustrate in real time his patience as a teacher to his Padawan. So I thought that was dope because we see certain figures, certain powerful Jedi, let's say, in the Star Wars galaxy and how they teach either Padawans or younglings.
Mm-hmm.
We see that with Master Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
We see that with Qui-Gon. We see that with Obi-Wan and so forth. We even see it on the dark side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting to see Master's teachings. I thought that was interesting, especially with the younglings, because that's so paramount, especially for the preservation of the Jedi Order. I hate to say it because, of course, the Empire was always compared to that regime in Germany during the 1940s. I don't want to say it on your channel, Big Mike, because YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But they're compared to that. So it's interesting how they're using those type of tactics because that's what they did as well. So I thought that was interesting.
They were. Even the whole Imperial March, that's the whole
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even the score that goes with it, but.
And I think it has something to do with fire. Because remember the little girl when he was training?
Every time they see fire,
fire, and then they keep seeing every time there's a flash of fire, there's some trauma flashback.
No,
there was fire with the little girl, and when he was training, then when the ship caught on fire, she kind of froze. So something happened where they burnt something down. Probably using a Jedi trick.
Well, moving forward, we do finally see her have this flashback, and we see that she does have a twin sister. She names her May, and she's on a ship by herself, and then she's having this either flashback or dream, one or the other one. But she asks her in the dream, "Did you kill the Jedi?" And May says, "Yes, I am. I'm going to kill them all." So then we get to
Big Mike.
What?
You're not going to straight out call that a force connection like Kylo Ren and was Daisy Ridley's character?
Right.
I mean, I would say that, but the other girl didn't know.
Right.
Remember, she thought her sister was dead.
Yeah.
Wait. Say that again, because I looked at it as they was connected. They was talking.
The one they were talking to each other, but the one sister thought she was dead.
Osha thought May was dead. Yeah.
She thought May was dead.
No, May thought Osha was dead.
Did she?
Yes.
They both thought each other was dead.
Right. Each other was dead.
They both thought each other was dead. They did. But so then they probably be talking to each other in this force thing and didn't know the other person was still alive.
Okay.
So because remember, she was in her child form.
Right.
So they probably been talking to each other for a minute.
So what
and they're just not aware of the power.
Got you. Okay, Josh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And I also thought it was interesting too, specifically with the lawyer or barrister of the Jedi coming to talk to Soul.
Yeah.
It was very obvious because we understand how the Jedi Order works. We understand how the Jedi Council works. They sent her to do that, to see how Soul would respond.
Right.
So she noticed and will report his emotional response, which is not allowed for the Jedi. That's why Fjord, whatever his name is acting like we ain't smash because Jedi they ain't allowed to do that. And I'm trying to impress my superiors.
Yeah, his name is Yord. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talking about the green ball head lady?
Yeah.
Well, remember she's in the early Republic. She had the little purple hair. You remember her? She had a whip saber.
In the Old Republic,
in the Old Republic. That's
she's older now. And
she got to be like 600 something because she only got hair.
Yeah,
exactly. Because they mentioned that in that scene, right? They were like, I remember when you arrived as a young Padawan. That's how she started the scene. Like, damn, you one of them aliens who aged like Yoda, huh?
Yeah. But they do wind up, getting to the ship and they wind up finding her. We see her about to fall off the cliff, and we see Soul, exercise his power, save her with the Force, stuff like that, and she does, come with them, and he believes her that like she didn't do it. And then it was now Yord is kind of a little like I don't know, she might be lying. So, Chloe, how you felt about that scene when they finally find her and Soul believes her, but the other ones are not too sure about it?
First of all, I was like, why is she over there on that cliff? That makes no sense. She mad close to the edge.
Yeah,
Like that
sure.
was crazy. Like you just survived the whole crash and you gonna be on the edge. That was crazy.
Yeah, that
Um,
was.
I mean, I get it because they want to show the force or whatever, but whatever. Secondly, I just felt like I think I was also just not sure if she was telling the truth or lying at that point.
Hmm.
Because it could have been a situation where it's like a person that has split personalities or something,
Yeah.
like where she, she would do these things, but she'd be unconscious.
Hmm.
And then, like, I don't know. It was still like up in the air.
Yeah, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, you didn't know if it was an actual person or was it her still doing it herself in a different
Yeah,
body.
because
Yeah,
I,
I get it.
I still I was like, well, she did like I don't know. I didn't know there was a twin involved. I figured she had a twin sister because we saw her in the dream state, but I didn't know if the twin sister like could take over her body and do stuff or
Right, right. How you
or
felt at
what.
that point? At that point, E, when they got her.
All right, so all right, I definitely still ain't think twin sister because I don't know. This was out. This what I was expecting, and I wish they would have did it, but they didn't. Before she fell off the cliff, and they was looking for her, and I seen the snow and the ice. I thought they were gonna bring out the monsters that remember Luke was cutting up. And
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna happen, and we got like a good scene off that. You could have used the force on that instead of her falling off a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So that's what I thought it was. But yeah,
Josh, at this point, how did you
the
feel?
mountain shit.
Did you feel more like Yord that didn't believe her yet, or did you feel more like Soul? That, okay, I believe it wasn't you. How you felt about that at that point? Josh, can't hear you.
My bad, my bad. Like I said at the previous scene, at that point when they saw OSHA, I knew there had to be a logical explanation why that wasn't her.
Okay.
And then Soul's certainty as his master, because masters know their pupils. They know their Padawans because and Soul was a master at that Jedi manipulation and reading people's minds.
Yeah,
so he knows his Padawan. So when he said, I understand, then it was the confirmation for me that it had to be another person, maybe being an imposter of this person, or perhaps it shouldn't. And I'll be honest, I still didn't think twin. I'm not going to be claiming that I didn't think twin. I just thought there was a logical explanation why it was not her.
Okay.
Not OSHA specifically.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
So speaking of May, we finally get May kind of by herself, and we see her, and she's going to kill the other master of the four, and she can't get to him. He's in like this state of meditation, but there's a force bubble around him. She doing all these karate moves and everything else, but she can't break it. And then we see she's got somebody in the city helping her out, and he makes her a poison instead because no weapon can break that barrier. So I'm gonna jump back to you, E. How you felt about that scene? Her trying to break it and find out she got somebody working for somebody working for her on the side.
Well, I was cracking up because I was like, "Oh yeah, his powers is up there." Like, just sitting like that and can't nobody do nothing to you. I was like, "Yeah, that boy powers is up there." Unless he had his own little special, some of them be having like their own little special force power that they only know. But for the most part, I thought she wasn't gonna be able to mess with him. Now, when she went to the dude and he was like, "Oh yeah, everybody has a weakness," and all that stuff, I started looking at that guy different.
Okay.
All right, so that guy.
Who? At the guy or the Jedi?
No, the guy.
Okay.
She got the poison from.
Yeah.
I'm still looking at him funny. Like it's something about him, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like for him to act like that with her, and then when they ran down on him, like when we get there, we'll get there. Yeah.
All right, Josh, how you felt about her breaking into another? Actually, say, this time a Jedi temple, and also not able to kill him, but then going to get the poison from her little her guy there. What do you thought about that?
Yo, that was an incredible scene, and as E was saying, that was a wonderful display of the Force on so many different levels. I mean, you essentially have that force field. Like the first thing I thought about was Luke projecting himself. Like that has to be on that level. So we seen him do that. Surely this is possible. But for May, for me, it was the brilliance and the force of her master who's training her,
Right.
because she knew to ask for, she was told to ask for the poison because that was the only way that he would come out, because he was in that little force field running from reality.
Right.
So I thought this is a wonderful illustration from Star Wars talking about mental health in the galaxy far, far away, because you're gonna have a lot of PTSD. And it's like the wild, wild west out there. There's a lot can happen. So the fact that they're actually tackling it in a great way with a wonderful plot, I think is brilliant.
They say he was in that state for like 10 years, like that, like just meditating like that.
That's incredible.
I know, like a long time. That's
not eating nothing, just chilling.
Yeah, that's.
And the one time he comes out is when the one person offers him that poison, so he can do it because of that grief,
right?
And
guilt of whatever he did, and that's what I'm saying. This just for him to do that, it just. I feel like certain Jedi's don't know, but I feel like Saul don't know.
I bet y'all know. I bet y'all know who played that character though. By the way, the guy who was meditating.
Yo, I kept looking at him, and they disguised him with so much shit. I knew he was somebody.
Yo, that's Tommen from Game of Thrones.
I knew it.
Not Joffrey, but Tommen.
The second one.
Yeah. The one who jumped off the out the window.
I can see that. Like growing up with makeup, I can see that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of makeup on and stuff like that. But yeah, that's Tommen and whatnot. So like the connection there. But the reason they do that, just to kind of heads up slash spoiler, is because when they do the flashback of whatever happened, then they'll have him without the makeup to show that, Tommen. Because he
got his eye sliced.
Yeah, he only 26, so they're gonna show him really how he look, now as a young person. They're like, this is like old person makeup they gave him and stuff like that. So that's why they do that. They cast a young actor and then age him up so they can show flashbacks of them young, which is smart.
That's smart.
Yeah. So, anyway, so she does get the poison, and they get there, but before they can actually, do anything, she talks to him about his grief, PTSD, like Josh said. We all know what happened. Happy to close back on this. We all know what happened, but he takes the poison. Meanwhile, they're coming in, and when they get there, Osha dips off to the side. She walks up, and she sees he just took the poison and that he's gone. But they can't accuse her this time because Uric was behind her. So, yes. Chloe, since you're back, talk to us about how he took the poison. What were your thoughts about that? And and how close they were. Go ahead, Chloe.
So my thoughts are he took the poison because he did some grimy stuff. He couldn't live with himself, and he's been meditating for 10 years.
Right.
Because he felt bad for doing whatever he did to her family. So they must have did something crazy.
Okay.
Because he knew she was coming. He was like, I knew you was coming. Because ain't no way I'm taking no drug. Like, I'm not going to kill myself unless I can't live with the guilt. And remember when she went back to the guy, the potion maker.
Yeah.
And he was like, everyone has a weakness. And she like, he don't have a weakness. He's like, yeah, he does. Play on his righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he was pious. What is it? Pious? Am I saying the right word, babe? Pious. And he, he had to die on the cross for his sins. And, she, I guess that was him admitting to what he did was wrong.
Yeah. Josh, how you felt about that? Can you hear me? We can hear you, Josh, again.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't speaking yet. But, yeah, I thought it was... Wait, I thought you came to me already. You ain't go to E-Money yet about the scene.
Not about the actual... But I'll go back. E, how you felt about that?
All right, what scene are we in?
When he actually took the poison. and then
Okay, yeah.
and they were walking in. They were walking at the same time. So essentially,
I was mad he took the poison. I'm gonna be real,
right.
because to see him sit up there and float like that, I know he could have gave me some good fighting scenes. But
right.
I can't get them all. So he took the poison. I felt that was a cheap way out. That was some bullshit.
Don't
That
you
shit looked
worry,
like
Ian.
antifreeze.
Don't you worry. There's some fight scenes coming.
Oh, I know it is.
I think he'll also be in the flashback scenes. Like I said, they'll have the young time or whatever like that. So I think he'll be in the flashbacks.
He gonna be doing some. He gonna be doing some real stuff in them flashbacks. You wait.
He better.
Don't you worry.
Sitting up there floating like that, bro. Eternity.
He floated for 10 years.
I know, that's crazy.
Silent. He floated for 10 years inside. But also, wait, one more thing that we didn't touch on. So, oh boy, what's his name? The guy, the master,
Soul?
the Asian dude.
Soul.
Yeah.
So when they was like, "Yo, this man been floating for 10 years in silence," Soul was like, "Don't you worry, he'll talk to me." So they was doing some stuff. Ain't no way.
Nah,
He
Soul's
came in with
just
that
saying
about-
that. I feel like Soul said that because Soul is that dude. Like, I feel like Soul is probably so nice. Like, we just probably just touched a little bit of surface on Soul for real, being in that episode, that second episode. But I think Soul is somebody.
They
See,
did,
I
yeah,
think-
they did some stuff. They did some stuff.
See, Chloe, I think you're like halfway right. I think something happened, but Soul tried to stop it.
Maybe.
And they wouldn't let him. I think he was the good
He was the good guy.
Yeah.
He was the reason.
Right. I think.
If you pay attention to him, the way he moves, right? He does not move where he did anything wrong. Like, he does not move at all or give me the notion that
he's
he
guilty.
did something, that he's guilty of something.
Well, the other lady, you're right, because the other lady was in a bar drinking away her sorrows.
She looked guilty though. If you look at her face,
Yeah.
Soul didn't really look guilty to me.
And Soul was willing to go talk to Meg. He was willing to go talk to Meg. So
he was.
He probably was like, "I'm the one who tried to tell him don't kill your parents," but she like, "Y'all all guilty."
Well, speaking of that, good segue, Chloe. That's the next scene where they do set up kind of. They go in to the little shop. They catch the guy, and he gives up. He's scared of the Jedi, so he gives up May and says she'll be back at 9:00 tonight, basically, like real quick. So like, so basically,
Bitches get stitches. Okay?
right. He be like, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. What you want to know, like he ain't good at all. So, but they set up a little sting operation where they're gonna watch the place. They got old girl back at the ship, and then when May get back, they gonna kind of run up on her. So we do see that Soul in her, and she ain't trying to talk like Chloe said. She trying to fight. We get another good choreographed scene where Soul's not trying to hurt her, but he is flexing in the scene to me. So I'm gonna come back to you, Josh. How you felt about starting from when the guy gave her up to the whole the fight scene with Soul and May?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to what E initially said about this character, that he was off, and this demonstrated why he was off, because you could tell early on, because it's Star Wars, it's the Wild Wild West. There's certain characters where there is no character, and they'll be a chameleon to save their own skin. We understand that role and these works, so we get that. But in terms of Soul, again, what one of the things I love the most about Star Wars is that when you come across a master, they're going to teach you as they fight. And Soul did that beautifully. That was incredible. He, like you said, he was beating and teaching, right?
Right.
Flexion, but also, you get some better form, do it like that. I thought that was dope. I thought that was masterful.
Yeah, he was like, who taught you this? They ain't teach you right. Every crack.
Right, yo, I love that, yo.
Yeah.
I love every bit. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, you next. Go ahead, E. Go ahead.
All right, so I love, these are my scenes right here. So, I'm over here. Yeah, Soul. Yeah. Embarrassed her. Where her teacher at? Where he at? Yeah, that's why your teacher's hiding. Yeah, that's why your teacher's hiding. Right, you don't want the smoke. Soul out here giving out straight smoke, and I loved every bit of it. And I love how him and Trinity watch how people grab their lightsabers.
Yeah.
Every time she went for that joint, you peep out, he'd be like, look right at her. No, you're not touching that. You're not touching me.
Yeah. I like how he took her knife. She didn't even know it.
Yo, when he took her knife, I was like, and then
right.
Yeah, get him out of here.
But the other part, to Josh's point, when he was reading her mind at the same time, and said, "You don't even know who your master is. You can't tell me if you wanted to." I like that part too. But Chloe, what's your thoughts on the whole part?
Good. That was good writing.
It proved that she had a master. It proved that she had some training, that she's still training, and then also she was doing stuff for the master. So I'm curious to see who her master is. Like, did the master save her when everybody thought she was dead? Is this master a good person or a bad person? Yeah, it raised a lot of questions for me. But it was good to see them actually fight, and that kind of proves to me, like you said, that he might not be a bad guy because he didn't just submit. Like, all right, just tell me.
Nah, definitely didn't.
He didn't submit. Everybody else submitted. Even the old girl, like, I feel like the first girl, she put up a fight, but she also ain't really care about her life because she ain't have to stay the barkeep. She didn't really have to stay the barkeep.
No, she didn't.
She could have just diverted I don't know. She could have used the force in many different ways. Like, she didn't do all of that. So
And see, I get what they were trying to do with that. Like, they were trying to use it as like a crutch. Like, okay, this, because she did it earlier before she saved him. There was somebody falling, and she stopped that person from hitting the ground in the middle of the fight. So girl just knew, like, oh, okay, you one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me attack this person. I got you.
And going back to the scene with the guy who made the potion, I think his name's Cormier, but I think what that showed me too was the Jedi and how they were feared at that time, and people were fearing what they didn't know. 'Cause remember, he was like, "Don't do that wiping mind thing, y'all do, or whatever." It's like that. So I felt like they were so powerful, the Jedi, and so big at that time, but people didn't know all their powers. So they were
Did
like,
you see their temple?
I know. So
the temple looked like something from the First Order. Like, that temple was humongous.
So I feel like people were just like afraid. So that's another reason why he gave up so quick, even though it wasn't should have did it. But I feel like they're like secret wizards. You don't know what they can do or not at that time to me. Like, I feel like they got more known about later on. But
can they can wipe people's minds though, right? Is that a thing?
They can read it. I don't know.
They can wipe it. Yeah, I've never seen it before. No. I think he just thought that because he might have heard stories about Jedi, this, that, and the third. I think it's like this,
It is, because you remember when he put his hands up, the lady straight told him the information he needed.
Yeah,
without him even doing it.
Looks like Enigma. They just scared of the Jedi because they don't know what the hell they are at that time. They are
this is like 2005 trend when the niggas started gangbanging. It's the same way with this. Like, they're scared because they're so deep. Look at it. The Jedi coming. What are you gonna do against 10, 20 Jedis?
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah, and they can fight you even without the lightsaber, like Soul just did with May and stuff like that. So he never put out his lightsaber at all. And then we do see that she come back though, like Chloe said. Then she gets stitches, so she come back to her boy like, "You told on me," and she about to slice him up. But he was like, you know what I mean? Let's hold on. I know where the Wookiee Jedi at and stuff. I know you want to get him too. So they know who she want to get to. But to Josh's point, the lady with the green skin, she tells Soul, "No, you got to come back to the council to get permission to go there first." Yeah. And it's basically a direct order. So, and they won't let him go. So, Josh, how you felt about how that whole thing unfolded there? Okay.
Yeah, so this is why I said, I think that Carrie-Anne Moss's character is alive. Okay. Is because this is how this entire time I was imagining Mace Windu, Yoda, all in the Jedi Council at the top of the tower. We need to see this uncover. Let this play out some more. Right. We need this mysterious master to come out of hiding so we can so we can, neutralize them. That's how I was viewing it personally.
Okay. Chloe, how you felt about that when they wouldn't let him go, even though he knows where she was going to kill the Wookiee Jedi?
I mean, I don't have any real feelings about that. I just feel like he's probably gonna end up going anyway,
Okay.
or he may not. I don't know. We will see what type of Jedi he is. Because if he got that much staying, he not listening to everybody. He just gonna do what he want.
I don't
In
think
my
he's
opinion.
quite there yet. E, how you felt about that?
All right, so I'm getting tired of them not listening and trying to go through the ranks to do shit.
Right.
Because you're putting the Wookiee's life on the line. Let's be for real. First of all, I'm still a little annoyed that this girl can kill masters. Let's all be for real.
Yeah.
These are master Jedis she's ripping, she's going through. So, like a Wookiee, you know how strong a Wookiee is, and for it to be a Jedi?
Yeah. Well, yeah, touch on that. We saw the scene with the Wookiee Jedi. How you felt about that? We saw them and stuff like
I
that.
thought he looked fire. Like, I mean, they didn't have, I thought they had, I could have sworn the Wookiee Jedis had clothes on. Like, a little bit of clothes. Like,
Some of them do. Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think Chewie ever had clothes on, no?
Nah,
Hey.
Chewie didn't.
Yeah.
But this one got the ponytail and he got the samurai ponytail.
Yeah.
This one, and he scared them dudes off. He ain't no joke.
And he used the Force when he did it, so.
Right.
He took their guns. Josh, how you felt about the look of the Wookiee Jedi? Man.
Yeah, that was tough. I appreciate that. We saw the other Wookiee and Boba Fett, right? So I thought that was cool how you're adding more Wookiees besides Chewbacca. So I can't be upset. Of course, there has to be some Force-sensitive Wookiee, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's the right balance of fan service, but also, something plausible that can happen in the galaxy that we haven't seen yet. So that's why I was hyped off that. Like I thought that was dope.
Yeah. And speaking of close point, like if he's like that, I think he will get like that too. He should just like disobey the order, like Jack Ryan would do. Josh, like, I'm going anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do all the time. So I feel like that should be one of the.
But that's what I think he's going to do. I think this is why I keep saying they're playing 3D chess, the Jedi Council, because they did the same thing to Obi-Wan and Anakin and Qui-Gon, and they did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're trying to do that to provoke, just to see how things unfold. Personally.
Okay. Well, that was the first couple episodes. So, introduction to the Acolyte, High Republic era. E, how would you, rate or what would you give this show to start with these first episodes?
All right, so Acolyte right now, Acolyte gets a strong 8 from me.
Okay.
I give it a strong 8. It's only 2 episodes, so I got it.
I know. Okay. All right. Chloe, how would you say so far? What'd you say?
I would say an 8 too.
Okay. 8s across the board. Josh, what you got?
So because I'm a bit of a Star Wars fanboy, I had an epiphany, and it's obvious, but I still had the epiphany nonetheless. It should be mandatory for any new show that wants to be taken serious. You need a double upload. You need 2 episode premiere. Stop playing around,
Right?
because you really get to sink your teeth into the series. And I agree with all y'all, strong 8s, but because of the strong 8s, to be fair, on Disney Plus, Star Wars actually pioneered the double upload release.
They did, yeah.
So for that reason, for everything together, I got to give both of them together a 9, but 8 individually.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I've been disappointed by a lot of Star Wars shows. Boba Fett comes to mind, stuff like that, and parts of Obi-Wan when the little girl was walking in a trench coat and nobody saw her, stuff like that bothers me. But I will say this made me happy. There was everything I needed. It had a diverse cast, had dope Jedi fighting, mind tricks that they normally do. I love seeing the Jedi at their highest power. I always want to see that outside of the Skywalker era. There's no Republic, because there's no people trying to defeat the Empire here. I like that too. So it's a different story for me. So for that, I'm not quite enough. I was 8.5 for me. Because I feel like it's giving me everything I need so far. And it's a good story. Because we don't know who her master is. There's a mystery. Like, how did she survive? To close point, what happened back in the day? So there's still a lot to, like, unfold. And we're only 2 episodes in. So I'm going to say 8.5. So.
Hey, Big Mike, can I ask you a question? Chloe, I forget the name of the YouTube channel you were watching, but someone called this a blend between Kill Bill and Frozen. Would you agree?
We were watching Screen Crush, Ryan Airy.
And Frozen? Huh.
He said the sisters are Frozen, Elsa and...
Oh, okay. All right. I can see that. Even though they kind of like... I mean, yeah, okay. I can see that.
Kill Bill, yeah.
And Frozen. Elsa and...
I get the Kill Bill.
I guess. It's kind of a stretch. Elsa and Anna kind of love each other a little bit. They had a little bit of things going, so we'll see. But anyway, appreciate you guys on the show. I don't know whoever's jamming, but appreciate whoever's been watching. Thank you all. I want to try to do this every Wednesday. Josh, happy that you watched. Chloe, good to have you back on the show. Stuff like that. And E, congrats again on the crib. And well, I'll catch you back for Power, pretty soon as well. So
thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you all for watching. And for that, we out. Please.
Peace.
All right. The stream is